Welcome to latest news blaster. For decades, Jane Goodall has been known to the world as one of the most compassionate and insightful scientists of all time, a woman whose groundbreaking work with chimpanzees reshaped our understanding of life, emotion, and humanity itself. Her gentle demeanor, deep empathy, and tireless dedication to conservation made her an icon not only in science, but also in the realm of human compassion. Yet behind the serene smile and inspiring words, Jane carried a private pain, a heartbreak few knew about. Recently, in a rare and deeply personal interview, Jane Goodall opened up about one of the most difficult chapters of her life, her divorce. Her emotional confession left many in tears, revealing a side of her story that had remained hidden for decades, a woman devoted to her purpose. Jane Goodall's journey began in the forests of Gombe, Tanzania, where, as a young woman, she defied societal norms to pursue her dream of living among and studying chimpanzees. Her discoveries revolutionized science, showing that humans were not the only beings capable of emotion, intelligence, and complex relationships. But while her work flourished, her personal life faced challenges. Jane married Baron Hugo van Lawick, a Dutch wildlife photographer who shared her love for nature and adventure. Together, they captured some of the most iconic wildlife footage ever seen and shared years of passion and purpose. Their love seemed unbreakable, two souls connected by the wild beauty of Africa. However, as time passed, cracks began to form. Their devotion to their respective missions often kept them apart. Hugo's work as a photographer took him to distant places, while Jane's commitment to Gombe and the chimpanzees kept her rooted in one location. The very thing that had drawn them together, their love for nature, slowly became the force that separated them, the quiet strain behind the smile. In her emotional confession, Jane revealed that for many years, she ignored the quiet loneliness that crept into her heart. She poured herself into her work, spending endless hours observing the chimpanzees, documenting their behaviors, and nurturing her groundbreaking research. But when she returned to camp at night, there were moments when she longed for companionship, for the warmth of her husband beside her. There were nights, she shared softly, when the forest felt both alive and empty. The chimps had their families, their bonds, and I found myself wondering where mine had gone. Hugo, on the other hand, struggled with the isolation of life in the field. His photography demanded constant travel and long periods away from home. Gradually, the distance between them grew, not just in miles, but in heart. Despite their love, the two found themselves living parallel lives, united by memory but divided by circumstance. Their marriage, once vibrant and full of promise, began to fade like the African sunset they had both cherished so dearly. The breaking point. Jane's confession revealed that the decision to end her marriage did not come suddenly. It wasn't anger, she said with a tremor in her voice. It was sadness. It was understanding that sometimes love alone isn't enough to make two paths meet again. The breaking point came when Hugo's work began taking him further and further away. Communication became scarce. Letters grew shorter, and eventually, the silence between them spoke louder than words ever could. Jane described the moment she realized their marriage had truly ended. I was sitting in the forest, watching one of the mothers with her baby. She was grooming him, holding him so tenderly, and I thought to myself, love needs presence, it needs time, and I didn't have that anymore. It was a realization that broke her heart. To the world, Jane Goodall was a woman of strength and focus, but inside, she was grappling with the painful truth that her marriage had quietly dissolved, the aftermath of loss. After her divorce, Jane threw herself even deeper into her work, not as a form of escape, but as a way to heal. The forest saved me, she admitted. The chimpanzees gave me something that words can't describe. They reminded me that life continues, that connection exists even in pain. Her compassion toward the animals she studied became even more profound. Many of her colleagues noticed that she spoke about love and emotion with new depth, often drawing parallels between human heartbreak and the bonds she observed among chimpanzees. One moment, she said, changed her forever. I watched two chimps reconcile after a terrible fight. They reached out, embraced, and forgave. It reminded me of what I needed to do for myself, to forgive, to let go, and to move forward with love still in my heart. This emotional awakening not only defined her as a scientist, but also as a woman of great emotional wisdom. She became a global symbol of peace, empathy, and resilience, someone who could understand pain yet still believe in hope. The unspoken truth of a broken love. In her confession, Jane made it clear that her divorce was not born of betrayal or conflict, but of life's unpredictable course. "We loved each other deeply," she said, her eyes glistening with emotion. "But sometimes, love means letting go so both souls can grow." Her words resonated with millions. In a world where relationships often collapse under pressure, Jane's honesty about her failed marriage reminded people that even great love stories can end with grace. She reflected on how, even after the separation, she and Hugo continued to respect one another's work. "We remained connected by what brought us together, our love for this beautiful planet. That never changed." Her voice softened as she spoke of forgiveness and gratitude. "He gave me my greatest gift, my son, Grub. And through him, I learned what unconditional love truly means. Finding peace in solitude." Years after her divorce, Jane found peace in solitude. Her days in Gombe became more than research. They became a spiritual journey. She often described sitting under the trees, feeling the wind move through the leaves, and hearing the distant calls of the chimpanzees as a reminder that she was never truly alone. Her compassion expanded beyond science. She began traveling the world, speaking to audiences about hope, conservation, and unity. "The pain of my past taught me empathy," she confessed. "When you've known heartbreak, you see the world differently. You realize that every living being, human or animal, wants the same thing: love, safety, and connection." Her speeches carried a calm power that drew tears from audiences everywhere. It wasn't just her knowledge of nature that touched hearts. It was her humanity, the quiet courage that came from surviving pain without bitterness. A legacy of love beyond loss. Today, Jane Goodall's legacy extends far beyond her scientific achievements. Her emotional confession about her divorce revealed not weakness, but strength, the kind of strength that comes from vulnerability. She showed the world that even the most extraordinary individuals experience heartbreak, and that healing is possible through purpose and love. Her journey became a lesson in emotional resilience, a story that continues to inspire millions around the globe. In her closing words during the interview, Jane offered a message that felt like both an ending and a beginning. "We all carry pain. But pain can become wisdom if we let it. My divorce broke my heart, but it also opened it to the world, to compassion, and to the realization that love never truly ends. It simply changes form." Fans react with emotion. After her confession was shared publicly, fans around the world flooded social media with messages of admiration and empathy. Many expressed that her honesty gave them comfort in their own